Dan.
What's up, Alex?
We're in for another exciting game night.
I know. I was at this club all after hours last night.
I was just trying to get my demo produced,
Yeah.
and it is tough sledding out there, man. Tough sledding.
Well, you keep trying to give people cassette tapes.
I know. I had too much candy. All right. Well, that's an odd intro. If you don't know who we are, we're the Boards and Bottles guys. We pair amazing games with fantastic beverages of different varieties, and we only ask that you just watch, like, subscribe, comment. That's all. It's simple. It's easy. But yeah, let us know what you think about our games, other videos that we do, any thoughts, better drink options. There are always better drink options.
I know, we do a good job.
Yeah, we do. Okay. Without further ado, game night tonight is going to be off the chains.
Exceptional.
We're just going to crank it up to 11, aren't we?
Yeah, like the rock stars we are.
We're playing Rock Hard 1977.
Does it even say that on there?
No, it doesn't. No, it does.
Weird.
It's like embossed. You have to like...
He's got a tramp stamp?
No, it's like...
No.
You see how it's kind of like rock hard? Like
Oh, okay.
How close do we want to go? Okay. Anyways, it's all over the side of the box. This game is unbelievable. As you would expect, it is theme. We talked a little bit about it in past videos. We played it in the retreat.
Yep.
We were looking forward to playing in the retreat. We played it at the retreat, and now we get to play it tonight because it is... I'm smitten with it.
Oh, it's so good.
I was not alive in the 70s.
Nope, me neither.
But a lot of the bands that I love were from the 70s. 70s are all what I think about. I know Aerosmith, Foreigner, and all the great Leonard Skinner, Steely Dan, all of them, right?
Yep.
So many amazing bands started. So this game takes place in 1977, like right in the middle of it. Bands hitting some of their peaks, right? Queen, all these. So this is a fun game because you play like you are just a budding rock star trying to make it, trying to be the jukebox hero that you are inside. And
definitely. Killing disco.
And so it plays through the phases of like morning, afternoon, and then the late evening.
Yeah.
So like off the shoot, you're assigned a person, right? A persona. And you get this kind of game board, and there are so many to choose from. I think there are 10. Yeah. The game plays up to 5 people, so there are 10 to choose from. Everybody gets a persona. You get a manager.
Yep.
And you get a job, a J-O-B, that holds you back from doing all the awesome rock star stuff you want to do.
Yeah, I know, right?
But the J-O-B gives you your money.
It does, and money's important, especially in the early game.
But you can decide if you want to skip out on the job.
Yeah, you can no-show.
Yeah.
That's cool. You're just going to get fired, maybe.
You're going to get fired eventually.
Yeah.
And eventually in the game, guess what? This is your job now.
Yeah.
Right? You don't need that.
You don't need to be a masseuse anymore.
Right. That's exactly what I was last time we played. I was a masseuse.
Oh, man.
I know. So, like I said, you do things in the morning time.
Yep.
It's a lot of, like, trying to hire like roadies to help you out, trying to like record demos and have meetings with different people.
And you're bribing the radio guy to like get you on the air.
Yeah, exactly. And then in the afternoon to the evening-ish time is when you're like actually performing. You're getting ready for your gigs, you're playing your gigs, and then the late evening is just late night revelry.
The after party.
Yeah, the after party. So that's in a gist. It's a little bit of worker placement where you're just kind of doing one thing, right?
Yeah, you've got one worker you're placing in each phase. So you're kind of doing one action in each one. It reminds me a lot of viticulture. Yeah. Where it's like, okay, we're going to bid all in this season, and then when everybody's done, then we're going to go to this season. Yeah, it's exactly like that. In that respect.
In that respect.
We're not making wine.
No.
We're making memories.
We're making people wine.
Yeah.
With excitement. All right, I would be a terrible rock star.
Yeah, you'd be awesome.
Oh my gosh, no one would pay to see that. So, in this game, that's the wonderful thing about it. I can be the rock star I always dreamed of being.
Yeah.
You get these awesome...
Check this out.
I know, looks like an amp.
Look, those are real dials.
I know, and they actually do go up to 11 as you would expect them to.
You turn them.
But it's all about like your chops, so your singing ability, your reputation, right? And the songs. You have to have songs and write good music. And then the cravings. Now, tell us, what are these candies for? What is craving, Dan?
I don't know personally much about these, but in the game, this is supposed to represent basically the dark side of rock and roll. Like, whatever it is that kind of sets you off. So this could be drugs, this could be women, this could be coffee, this could be
Board gaming. Whatever your vice is.
Yeah, whatever your vice is. If you focus too much on your vice, your life's going to fall apart. Your craving meter is going to go up, and you're not going to be able to focus on what you're actually trying to do, which is be a rock star.
Exactly.
Important things.
And you have to go to rehab in the morning. And you can't do anything with your whole morning phase. So that can be just total game changing. Because
Definitely.
obviously, if you accept candy, it can allow you to do things like you are hyper and doing...
Take more actions.
But then it can also shut you down hardcore with rehab.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not a fun place to be.
The other thing I like is there's a space on here where you can start tracking your royalties as you make your mixtape. And, your album, you get your record deal. You start gaining more royalties, and that helps just to get your engine going. You can, when you get roadies, you can start performing at better and better venues.
Yeah. You're not playing those frat parties anymore.
Right, exactly.
You can usually get lots of candy at the frat parties. But you lose reputation and stuff. So it's super, super thematic. And not safe for kids particularly. I mean, I guess a lot of it's obscured, but I wouldn't want to play this with my 10-year-old.
You also get a backstory.
Yep.
That's fun. And the backstory, all the late night events, all of the flavor text on these cards supposedly are all real true stories that happened to musicians during the time.
Yeah.
And so that's also kind of fun because it throws you into that world and you're like, oh my gosh.
This really happened.
This really happened.
Yeah.
And it all makes sense. Works together well.
It does. And I like... there's a bunch of decks of cards in this game. You're going to have an agent that you've got to make sure that you pay throughout the game. You've got these decks of cards, all these after-hours spots. And a lot of them, when you visit the after-hours spots, it'll give you options. Like, this can happen, this can happen, this can happen. What do you do? And you can decide, and it bumps you up on some stuff or gives you money or something. It's cool. It's just super dripping with theme.
Everything from the money. Look at this. Don't you feel like this just came from the floor? Am I holding these upside down the wrong ways?
That's actual money from Alex's wallet. That's not from the game.
No, but it looks like it's been, through the ringer a bit.
It does.
It's fun.
That's brand new money. So,
brand new.
From the game.
Yeah.
So, that's super, super cool.
It's so much fun.
Love it.
But let's start, before we go further, we need a drink in our hands.
Yeah.
To be rock stars.
Yeah. What rock star drink? Ice water.
Ice water.
Yeah.
Nope.
Alex has that early morning job.
I know apparently. Tito's wasn't around, but this is American rock, and so we're using an American vodka.
Okay.
Pouring a little in there. Yeah.
I like it. So
Tito's.
far.
Then a little OJ.
Okay.
A little screwdriver action.
All right.
Yeah. Didn't you know the rockers always drank a lot of screwdrivers?
In the morning, right?
No, at nighttime. This with Galliano here.
Oh, I never heard of that.
It's an Italian liqueur.
Oh.
But this, my friend, is what they used to call, or probably still do, a Harvey Wallbanger. Yeah.
Nice.
Very popular drink for a lot of rock stars back in the day.
Okay.
So there was a surfer called Tom Harvey. And Tom loved to add a little Galliano in his drinks.
Okay.
And he would start running into walls. So they call this the Harvey Wallbanger from Mr. Tom Harvey.
Smells citrusy.
And that is just a...
Woo! Oh, that's good, man.
I know. It's good. You can see why they liked it, because, OJ, a little, back in the day, you said, hey, OJ, who cares about the sugar? That's good for, it's healthy.
It's juice. It's
healthy.
Fruit.
And then vodka, you can barely taste it. And then the Galliano, well, that's Italian. It's nice.
Is Galliano like licorice?
It's a little...
that's what it tastes. Yeah, it tastes a little licorice.
It says the original botanical, but yeah, I immediately regret this, because me and anise, anything.
Oh, no, it's tasty.
All right, So that's what I'm doing.
And Rockstar education.
Exactly. Do some of those. You can see them talking. That are like White Russians, right? They'd be like, you know. Exactly.
The Big Lebowski. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, that's tasty. Thank you.
Just the sound of that and rock and roll.
I also brought something for Rock Hard.
Oh.
Now, believe it or not, I have very rarely purchased alcohol specifically for our program. Most of what I bring is stuff that I already own.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
I think that is a secret now that I feel like you're not doing your job.
We can't put it back in the box. This bottle, though, I bought specifically for this episode.
I can't wait.
Because there is, to me, there's not something that epitomizes rock bands and rock and roll more than this whiskey.
All right.
This is none other than Blackened.
Wow.
Why Blackened?
Exactly.
Let me tell you.
But why, Dan?
All right. So this is Blackened bourbon, if you couldn't tell. This is bourbon that's made by Dave Pickerel.
Okay.
He's the master distiller. He was the master distiller until he passed away in 2018.
That is.
One of the rock stars of bourbon, right? He worked at Maker's Mark for 14 years. Had something to do with the formation of a brand you might have heard of. What's it called? Whistle Pig.
What?
Yeah. He worked with Garrison Brothers, worked for Hudson Bourbon before he passed away, and this was also one of his babies that he was master distiller on.
That is.
This is made in Columbus, Ohio.
Hey!
What's more rock star than Ohio, right?
I'm from Columbus.
Yeah.
That's why I said
Isn't
it.
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there, too? Somewhere up there, right? But what does it for this bourbon, what makes this the rock star of bourbons, is that this is made through sonic enhancement. Otherwise known as black noise.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Crazy.
So what they do is they actually take this bourbon that they've distilled, they put it in black brandy casks.
And then they play some Aerosmith.
They put it in the rick house and they blast Metallica as loud as it will go. And so the thought process is that this is going to cause vibrations in the barrels and it's going to cause more interaction with the oak. So you're going to get this different taste. This is batch 136. Every batch of this is made with a different soundtrack.
Well, what's the soundtrack for this one?
I don't know.
Oh, they should tell us.
I don't know. They don't tell us.
It should be like the, what is that wine? Like the 13 Crimes or whatever it is, where you can like check the QR and it tells a story. You should hit the QR on this and then it should like blast the Metallica while you drink it.
I know, right? So, and maybe there is like the ultimate soundtrack.
I will find out.
Barrel 136 is like the ultimate soundtrack. We don't know. It could be.
I feel like I'm gonna have to get another bottle of a different batch so that we can try to figure out
evaluate.
songs. We can try to figure out the song. I can taste the difference.
This one tastes more like Linkin Park. So yeah, we're gonna give this guy a shot.
All right, let's do it.
They do a cask strength of this, which I'm told is good. I've not had it yet. There was a collaboration they did with Willet, which was fantastic, but I don't think you've been able to get that one for a few years. Here, I'll let you pour your own. That can be my pour.
Brand new bottle.
Now, this is not expensive whiskey. This is generally what I call camper whiskey. Oh. It's great for sitting around the fire and drinking a lot of it. It's 90 proof. It's like $35 a bottle, so it's not going to break the bank. It's easy to find.
I know you with your bourbons, you like them hot.
I do. But 90 proof, I mean, it's crushable, right? Oh, man. Get a lot of
I was going to say
funky corn.
I smell sex and... No, I'm kidding. Candy.
Oh, yeah, it's super mild. Super mild. Got some good traditional bourbon flavors with vanilla. And I get a lot of funk, like corn funk.
There's some stuff I'm still trying to place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what soundtrack that was. But it's a solid whiskey. It's got a cool story that I think jives well with Rock Hard.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I looked into the designer of the game.
Sure.
Right? Jackie Fox.
Oh, yeah.
So I started looking into it, and This is her first game that she's ever made, I believe. And, maybe she's done other things and I'm just novice and don't know about them. But,
Sure.
But when I looked into her, so she was actually a member of the Runaways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the song Cherry Bomb, right? Which is been reprised so many times.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's kind of fun because you'd almost assume that a game like this would need to be made by somebody who's got the inside intel.
Somebody who's lived it, right?
Right. A little bit. So, and I know that was kind of like a teenage band or something.
Yep.
But that they're thrown into the life at a young age.
Yep.
So I think that that's fabulous. She probably had a lot of influence from others and talked to others.
Sure.
And got a lot of the fun stories. So I absolutely love that about this.
Yep.
And did you know she's also a 4-time celebrity champion? This lady is legit. Jeopardy.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Jeopardy. Yeah.
Jeopardy.
She's
champ.
got the smarts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she a board gamer, or is this like her first foray, and like she's not a gamer and doesn't know anything about it?
I would assume she knows something about it because this game is amazing.
It is.
But
It's really good.
her level of enthusiasm, I don't know. It doesn't look like she's ever done anything else in my mind. But I could be wrong. Somebody prove me wrong. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Let us know. Let us know what we're missing. I did see that they did make a character of her that's like a promo. Mm-hmm. I think it was out at Gen Con, but I think you're supposed to be able to get it later on, if I remember right. I don't know.
Sure as heck hope so.
I might be making that up.
I feel like if there's anything that she provides, like I know she's never going to watch this, but if anybody can get the word out to her, I certainly will be contacting the company, right? Because this needs to be produced more and more and more. There's so much you can do with this game.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many places you can take it. You can do it 1987. Mm-hmm. You could do it 1967. You could do so many things. So much fun.
You could do 2001 and have Dr. Dre making the beats.
Oh, there you go. Whoop. Anyways, I absolutely love the game as it stands today.
So good.
It's fun to take on the persona, and I think that was probably the thing I liked about it the most. Mm-hmm. Because some people have said about this game that it's like one-dimensional. It's like when you figure out, I do this, then I do this, then I do this, and I do this to get my mixtape, this to get my record deal, this to play the best thing, and then I win the game. Mm-hmm. And I win life. I can see how people would say that, but for me, this is a game you have to just give yourself into.
Yeah.
And you take on the role, take on the character. It was probably the thing my wife hated the most when we played it.
Okay.
I was just my guy, and whoever I picked up, if you're Eric Fairchild.
Oh, that's who I was. He was the party animal, man.
Yeah, you got to be a party animal.
Yeah, I think he gets like 2 actions off Candy.
If you're the well-tempered Yolanda Delacroix,
the keyboardist,
then, you might have a totally different way to play it.
Yeah.
So I think that you just have to put on the persona and try to be that.
Yeah, and I
Method acting.
I definitely have not played this enough to know that I've completely figured it out. I mean, it seems like it kind of pushes you to go in one direction, but the journey in this game is so incredible, and the pairings that you can do and just pretending like you're rock stars along the way is just hilarious. It's so funny.
And I think you can play it at 5.
Okay.
So the ability for people to block you on board spaces is very real. It happened all the time when we were doing it, and it feels real about that. Studio A and Studio B are both blocked.
Oh yeah,
right. And you're like, but I was supposed to be there today.
Yeah.
I skipped work to be here, and it's like,
I booked it first.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean? So I
what
just
do you mean the drummer didn't show up?
I know.
Come on.
It's like, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to hire a roadie then, or actually go to work.
Oh, I know. and so it's cool because in the after hours there is a mechanism in place where you can manipulate the turn order, and that turn order coming into the day is so pivotal. We played with our buddy Steven, and he was getting hosed on that daytime spot every single time. And he was getting aggravated with it. And I was like, dude, you can totally, because there is an option. It's go to bed early.
100%.
Like the least rockstar thing you can do. But if you do that, you're guaranteed to go first in the daytime.
He just never wanted to do it. So guess what? He never got a record deal.
Yeah, he didn't want to go to bed early.
Sorry,
dude,
he was the last of us to get a record deal.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's just too fun. Too fun.
all I can think about is just how much fun I had. Especially those late night parties that, I never attended when I was growing up, but that now I'm like, oh yeah, that was so much fun.
Back in my day.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Oh,
Anyway,
man.
it's rare to find a game that takes you out of your day-to-day element. I mean,
Yeah.
you can play games and you can feel transported sometimes, and this game absolutely transports you. It's the best thing I can say about it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
I feel like it is a Euro that's just dripping with theme. There are some random elements. There's the card draw and all that stuff, but I mean, for the most part, it's worker placement, and you can totally manipulate that turn order.
Yeah.
100%.
100%. All right, Dan, what do we say?
Oh man, game hard and drink like a rockster. I mean, responsibly.
Cheers, everyone.